I'ma give them something to see. I can't hold it back. I can't hold it back, no. Come on, check me out now.
Hi there, it's Shirley with LifeStyleOver50.com. Today I am going to dehydrate apples. Tried this for the very first time last night and oh my god, it was so yummy, big time. So this is great because you can use any kind of apple that you want. My husband likes red apples, I do like green apples. We're going to do the red apples today. And it's also awesome because instead of throwing out fruit when it's kind of towards the end, it's been around for a bit, now you have an option and it is a phenomenal snack, like so healthy. I don't add anything to it. Of course, you have to start with peeling, or actually you really don't. I've read online, I haven't tried it yet, that you can actually leave the peels on. I'm going to go with what I did last night. So I peeled the apple, I cut it in half, and I actually used a core. I'll show you on the next one. And I got the core out. Some people I've seen cut them whole and then pop the seeds out. This is how I did it yesterday, so that's how I'm going to do it for you. So, peeled it, getting ready to cut it. Yesterday I did some slices that were too thin and it shriveled up. Still tasted great, and then I had bigger slices that I cut a little bit thicker. So I'm not great with measurement, so maybe quarter inch. I know Dale's behind the camera, an eighth of an inch. So my personality is coming out. So I'm going to cut the apples about that 1/8 inch thick. That's hard to say, actually. Okay, I'll finish up cutting these, and we're heading out for a bike ride today. We'll be gone probably quite a few hours to enjoy the day. We live in Florida, so it's sunny. It's not raining, but it's a little chilly today. So I want to get these in the dehydrator before we go, because this is actually a long process. I'm going to show you our Emerald Lagasse Power 360 dehydrator, air fryer, so forth. We did a great article on it. So I'm going to go to the dehydrator here. In here, there's multiple levels for the racks. This is called your air fryer basket. This is just your baking rack, like a pizza rack and so forth. And you can use both. I'm going to use both. And start with this one. We're just going to layer these in here. Push as many together as you can. Now, I did not overlap yesterday. That might happen a little bit on this rack. I think it's fine. We're going to test it out. We're going to come back to you later and show you after they're done what it looks like. So I'm going to do this one real quick for you. The peeling. I like these kind of peelers. These are way easier in my opinion. The flat, long one. Actually, I'm going to cut this top off and do it a little different than I did before and use my core so you can see. Super easy. Push that through. First one I did after I peeled it, but it's a little easier to hold the apple if you actually core it first. And again, you can use any kind of apple you want. It's great because instead of, how sometimes you have it for a while and the taste is a little different, you don't have to throw your fruit away. I'm going to try all kinds of things and we'll definitely video each thing. I'm excited for bananas. I'm excited for vegetables, kale chips. Like, they put so many additives in kale chips in the grocery store. It's bad for you. It ends up not being good for you. So now I could do this stuff and I'll start testing with some seasonings on this. Like, I did see somebody add cinnamon, so that'll be my next attempt with the apples. Maybe even bananas. I don't know. We'll try that out. Okay, so we got that peeled. Finish up the coring. I really I cut this part just to kind of even it out so the slices are the same thickness. And this one I'm going to leave whole. I'm going to try that on the rack because when I put them on the rack yesterday, this size, they end up, they turn a little bit as they're drying and they were falling through, so I had to keep popping in there and fixing them on the rack. So on the rack, I'm going to do full slices. And I was sharing before, it's kind of a long process. Minimum 6 hours to up to 12 hours. So with this dehydrator, you kind of have to test things out. They give you recommendations, suggestions. It's a minimum of 6 hours. You'll see that when I set this. That one broke. Okay, so on the rack, I'm going to stack it a little bit. Nope. These are going to go in the basket because it's smaller. Same with this one. So I will fill these up. I won't keep you guys. We'll come back in a moment here. These are halved and the apples. These are going to be full slices. I'm doing a slight overlap. You want to stay in the rack. I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to fill that the basket up as well. So now I'm at our brand new dehydrator. Again, I just tried this for the first time last night. So this is the Emerald Lagasse Power 360. It does lots of different things, but on here it actually is pretty simple. So it has settings and it shows all the different things it does. Over here is the select button. So I'm going to select to go to the dehydrate. And that's blinking right now. It automatically shows that 175 degrees right now because that's what I used last night. It goes from 85 to 175. I chose the higher temp in hopes that it would dehydrate quicker, and I'll share how long. Automatically goes to a minimum of 6 hours. So I'm going to grab my racks. I am going to fill these up so we have as many as we can. I'm going to slide this in here. This goes right underneath it. Okay, so thickness and layering matters, so I'm going to move that right now. Or you can go further down. So on here, it tells you what each slot is for, and actually slot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all actually have dehydrate. The only reason I'm using those specific two is because the book that comes with it suggested that, so that's what I'm using. I will try different levels as well. So minimum 6 hours, 175, I'm going the max, and that's it. And now you leave it alone. So the fan is going to run, so that's why I want to do it while we're gone for the most. Or what I suggest is doing it at night. You can put this on, it's obviously got the timer, it'll beep and shut off itself, but it's going to take you, I think last night I did the 6 hours, and then I did another 2-hour run. You can stop it and pause and so forth. So we're going to come back later to share with you what they look like when we come back. I'm back. So now we're going to see how we're doing. It's been 6 hours, the minimum time. So we are going to get hot. Okay. This is our basket. Now some of them, and I'm not sure why the difference. So these may be smaller. I did leave the skin on some of them. Got a little easier and faster. So this is close, like it's a little soft. I'm gonna actually put this back in the cycle for about an hour. So I'm gonna pick through these. Like that one's pretty good. We've got some smaller ones here, but here, I'm gonna taste too. Okay, this is one with the skin. Oh my God, that is so good. Even with the skin, you don't even realize it's on there. It's just so sweet. And tonight, while we're ending our night and watching a movie, I'm gonna snack on the apple chips. So on the bottom rack, wow, most of these are done. So not sure the difference. These were bigger. I know I've got one here that needs to go back in, but these are done. Even though they're bigger, they're still curling. I got a few that dropped on the bottom, but these came out really cool. So 6 hours minimum. You just got to test it. I do recommend, when I first cut it, is to, after you peel and core, is to cut the apple in half and do the half slices of the apple. Only because it makes it easier to put more on the tray. Just make sure it's a good sized apple and it all fits. But I am definitely excited about this. So I'm gonna pull these off. Like this one needs a little more, and I'm gonna pick through those. But we got a few that fell through the bottom. It doesn't hurt it. The burner or whatever dehydrator is coming up from the top. And that's it. I'm gonna put the other few that need a little bit for about an hour, and I'm excited. And actually went to the produce store today, and I bought a ton of fruit. I'm gonna be testing. I got mango, I got kiwi, I got pineapple. I'm even gonna do grapefruit. I'm just gonna test it all, because what great snacks. And I think I'm going to make a habit out of starting a batch in the morning, letting that run, and then do a batch before we go to bed at night and let it run through the night, because it's going to shut off. So that's what I got for you with Dehydrator. Second time out, but this is getting fun.
Can't hold it back.